Throughout residency, throughout a gynecologic oncology fellowship, we were taught that ovarian cancer didn't have symptoms. And that's what all the textbooks said, it's what all the papers said. And so at the break, I did catch up with my friend. He finally calmed the audience down. And I caught up with my friend, I talked to him. But I also met a couple of really influential people. I met Cindy Malassa, who many of you, I hope, know, or at least know of her. I met Pat Goldman, I met Ann Coker, I met a lot of the founding members of this organization, and they said to me, you know, why is it, Dr. Goff, that people don't believe us that there are symptoms? And I said, well, simply there aren't any research papers out there. And I started talking, and you know, they said, would you be willing to help us? And I said, well, you know, it turns out that a patient of mine just passed away from ovarian cancer. She was a physician at University of Washington. She left me $1,000, and it's not really much, but I said, we could do a survey, and Cindy, she said, well, we can use my mailing list. We can use the Conversations mailing list. And so we sent out this survey, and that's really how things started. And so I didn't think it would go much beyond a survey, but now actually I'm doing NIH-funded research in symptoms. I mean, people are really taking this seriously. And it really has a lot to do with what you guys do and the power that the combination of scientists and advocates have together. So I hope you will take that story and feel really good about how survivors really can influence the sort of research that's done, even just beyond, you know, beyond providing money, but providing ideas about where we need to go. So anyway, this morning what I'm going to do is talk about screening and early diagnosis. I'm going to take you through some of the research that I have done. Some of you have heard this before, and again, I apologize if it's a little bit boring, but we'll get to what I'm currently doing, which is some very cool research that's being funded by Ovarian Cancer Research Fund and the Gynecologic Cancer Foundation. We're doing a really interesting clinical trial that I think you'll be excited to hear. So just very quickly, ovarian cancer, second most common gynecologic malignancy in the U.S. Endometrial cancer is the most common, but ovarian cancer is the most deadly, and that's why advocacy is just so important, is that it's important for you guys to be here, it's important for you to go on the Hill, it's important for you to lobby. It's very key. There are about 24,000 cases each year. So peak age incidence is about 60. But you can see ovarian cancer in very young women. I have had women in their 20s with ovarian cancer. I've had women in their 90s with ovarian cancer. So while the average age is 60, we certainly, if we look around this room, we see a very wide age range of ovarian cancer. About 10% of ovarian cancers are associated with genetic mutations. The most common are BRCA1 and BRCA2. But then also people who have Lynch syndrome, which would be mutations in the mismatch repair genes, which typically predispose women to getting endometrial cancer or colon cancer, but this also can predispose women to getting ovarian cancer. But about 90% of ovarian cancers have no genetic predisposition. They just occur randomly, random bad luck, unfortunately. So why do we want to detect ovarian cancer early? It's all in this slide here. If we detect ovarian cancer early, we have a 70 to 90% chance of cure. Unfortunately, only about 20 to 30% of women are actually diagnosed in early stages. So you can see if there was any way that we could move the 70 to 80% of women up into early stage presentation, we can significantly impact the survival for this disease. And that's really where my passion has been, particularly for average risk women. So what are some of our screening challenges that we have? Well, first off,